What is going on, guys? Mitch here with another video for our build of this little Hyundai XL race car. Now, I'm really sorry it has taken such a long time to get this next video out, but unfortunately I've just been swamped with work. And while I'm on that, massive shout out to my students at school who just found out that I've got a YouTube channel building a race car, and they're all subscribing now. So shout out to you guys, welcome, hope you enjoyed this build. A few things that we've been up to, guys. Since last time I did a video, I've now put in a raised shifting mechanism here, so a raised gear shifter. If it looks incredibly tall, it's because it is actually incredibly tall. The spaces that I put in there are about 120 mil tall. I know some people putting in about 100 mil spaces. The reason why I did 120 mil is because I actually needed a little bit higher for my satisfaction, my liking. If I need to reduce them, I can. It just saves me going out and getting more materials to build that. So that shifter that I just showed you there, literally I did that all for about, I think it cost me max $15. The steel tubing got from Bunnings for about $4. The bolts are about $1.70 each. A few washers about 70 cents each. So really inexpensive modification to this car to raise the shifter up to make it more comfortable for me to use when driving. Today, what I will be working on is this magnificent little situation. So when I bought the car, there was a nice little rust patch in there, and I've just sanded it back to see what I'm dealing with. And as I sanded further around, I realized there's a lot of body filler in there. So if you can see, there's a few little rust spots coming through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand back pretty much this whole corner of the rear boot lid, get it squared away, get rid of any rust spots that we're getting there, and then put some filler in there where I need to and make it all square again, because I'm not really worried about the color of the car, because I do intend on wrapping it. So that'll be the next thing that we have to look at further down the road. But I have got some other videos coming shortly. I'll be getting these door panels taken care of here. I've got something there that I'm gonna try and work out, but at the moment it's just getting the getting all this stuff here sorted out around there. And you can see I've pulled the trim off the side down here, fill in all those holes, and that's the same along here, all those holes, and I'll do that to the other side. But that'll be another video when we're getting the body all sorted out. So we'll start working on this corner, sanding it back, seeing what the actual damage is on this, because I have a funny feeling there's a lot of body filler in there that I'll have to sort out. So we'll get to that, and we'll see how we do with this. Okay, so first order of business here is just to strip all this back. Just get it right back to metal. All that around there. They've even got some stuff down around here, right down the bottom, and then back around. So I'll probably just take it right back. The bubbles stop just around there. Bring it right back down here, around the bottom, because I've got some down there. I'll get rid of this twin cam logo there and just strip that right back, so we can see what we're dealing with. If we need to patch up any holes or get rid of any rust, I've just got a little bit there. So got this, we'll see how it goes, and we'll start stripping some material back. Well, this thing works a treat. You can see the rust spot that was there, the one in there, it's now gone. You see a few little speckles in there, so I'll have to really take it right back. And there's a fair bit of filler in there. And see how it looks out after that. I might be using a bit of filler myself just to get it back somewhat smooth. Well, you can see how much paint and body filler I've had to take out, and I've still got more to go, so I had to come right back up this end, because I might even have to go a little bit further, because there's some rust spots underneath there, and there's still some around here that I'll need to get rid of. Come up here again, more rust spots, but then the body filler started from about there all the way down. It's still going. I dare say it's probably coming right down here. And if you look closely, you can see exactly how much filler is in there. And I'll get rid of all that. And you may be asking why I'm taking so much filler out and I'll have to put some more back in, is because underneath all this filler, there's little rust spots that are coming through. And I want to get rid of that, treat it properly, and then get it back looking good again. So it'll take its time. If you ever have to do this, I seriously recommend getting one of these bits for a drill or a right angle impact. Makes your life so much more easier. And I know a lot of people online said, some videos I watched said to do it by hand with sandpaper, and there's no way I'd be doing this by hand with sandpaper this quickly. So I'll continue on, try and get it all stripped back, and then we'll see if we can get this thing looking a bit schmicko again. But I can see here, right through this big dent there, there's dents all the way through here, and I dare say down there. We'll see how it all pans out. Okay guys, so I have now stripped back the paint and all the body filler that came with this. The body filler actually went right down around there. I won't need to put any down that far, because when you run your hands over it, the dents only go from about right around that area there. So there will be a bit of body fill in it, not as much as what was on there. It was an absolute truckload on there. But I've stripped that part back, done a few parts at the top where there was some little rust spots coming through, and down the back, and then across the back down here. I probably won't put any filler in there. I'll just prime it and then paint it again. And then down the side, there's a few dots, a few spots down here, and then down the pillar down here, there was a good amount. There was some chunks taken out, they just had to tidy up. So I'll get some filler organised. I've already wiped it down with wax and grease remover, so it's nice and clean. And I'll get some body filler up, mix it up, and get these spots, and then sand it back so we can get it nice and flat again. So hopefully we'll be able to paint this up in the very near future. But we'll try and get those just those little dents and those spots, those little rust spots, covered up. It's actually come up really good. There's no little remains of the rust, and the big part of the rust that was there is that part right there, and there's nothing left. So I'm very happy. So we'll get some filler onto it. We'll make it look a bit messier before we can make it look much better. Alright, so we've got this body filler on. Got it on nice and thick so when we sand it out we can not have too many imperfections in it. Just fill in that little square hole down there. These ones down here, there's no actual dents in it. So I'll just put some primer over that and paint that. Same as across there, there's no dents. I only got those because there's a little bit of surface rust in there that I want to get off. So those are that side. Then I've got this part down here, this one up here, one on the door, and then just down this pillar down there. There is like, I'll have to do the same thing with these holes across here, and there's a number of dents that push outward on the driver's door, which is, I'm going to try something which is probably not what people would recommend, but I'm thinking I may just with these dents just drill them out and do the same as what I'm going to do for these holes, is put a bit of fiberglass behind there and patch them up with some, I'll probably use some just some stronger body filler for that, like some fiberglass body filler or some metal tech. Not real sure yet, but I've got these now. We're just waiting for these to dry so we can so that's with the sun outside, it's now starting to harden up nicely, which is really good. And then we'll sand those back, and then that'll be all patched up, and then we can get to getting ready to paint this, which I'll probably have to, after work tomorrow, nick down to Super Cheap and get some just some primer and some paint and get that taken care of. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way it's coming out so far, and we'll sand it back, get it nice and flat, and away we go. Alright guys, we're done for today. It's I think it's almost 5 o'clock and I've got to get inside, get something to eat, get something to drink, but I'll show you what I've got done because tomorrow I'll have to go and get some paint and some clear coat ready to just spray paint the parts I've touched up. So you can see here, up this pillar here, it's nice and smooth. Got rid of all those little, nice Mustang drove past, all those indents and stuff that are along there, so I'm happy with that. Door panels are nice. They look a bit rough. Once you spray paint them and get them all touched up, they'll look really good. In the back here, I'm very, very happy. Very happy. So this part here, it's nice and smooth. All the bumps are gone. Once that's spray painted up, it'll come up an absolute treat. So I've feathered in these edges along here as best as I can. Again, not too worried about if there's a difference in the silver color because I will be intending to wrap it at some stage, but getting rid of all those rust spots and those dents in there was my main goal today, and it's come up an absolute treat. I'm very, very happy with that. So I'll go get some paint tomorrow, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next couple of days when I pick up this video again. Alright guys, we're back. It's now next weekend. I just flat out with work. We got all this stuff with coronavirus going on and a bunch of carnivals being cancelled, so I had a whole bunch of stuff there I had to unorganize essentially, and then now we're just getting back to the car. So if you have a look here, I've primed the back and painted in it's called a Quicksilver. It's just some cheap paint from Bunnings. Made the back look nice and beautiful again. I don't know if you can see up here, there's a bit of a line through there, but it is actually smooth. I don't know why it's showing through, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be wrapped at some point, and then we'll you won't see all that. So I'm stoked with the way that's come out. So the final coat is on that now. I've finished off that part down there and down here, and then this is the part that was pretty gnarly before we even started this whole process, and it's come up an absolute treat. So I've done that. In the meantime, I've also popped off the fenders here. I've fiberglassed up these indicator lights here so I can fill them with body filler and do the same thing to them. I've painted this front bar across there. I actually just put some rust converter on there and just painted it silver so it matches the rest of the car, which is absolutely fantastic. And then again down here, I've just got to put body filler in those two, and then right along the side, along here, we've got the same thing on the other side. Just where we've pulled out that rubber strip on the side, we'll be filling those in. So that is the next step to our little bodywork, again, I guess, section of this car. Then once that's done, then we can get onto the door skins. So I'll be getting these done. I'll fill up these little holes today, and then I will come back and then tomorrow sand them back and then give them a quick paint, and that'll be done. So I'm really happy. There is another few things that I need to get done on this car, and that's the front and rear bumper. There's got heaps of deep scratches in there, so I'll be filling those up at a later date and just getting those all nice and squared away, so when it does come to get wrapped, it's all good to go. In the meantime, let's mix up some body filler and get to these little holes here that we need to fill in. Okay, it's looking much, much better now. The hatch is actually closed, and then I'll put the black trim across here, which I've got up in a box, which will finish that off nicely. I'm not too fussed about it not looking perfect down along here because, again, I will be wrapping it, and I will in the future, just for aesthetics, probably get one of the XL spoilers. I found a place online that does them in aftermarket, which is exactly the same as factory, just because I can. I filled up the holes down the side, so when that hardens up enough, I'll give that a sand back, and then there, I've got the front all back together. The car is absolutely filthy. And then down this side, give that a sand back and then paint that, and then that'll be the body pretty much ready to go to wrap it when I get around to wrapping it. So I'm not in a rush to wrap all the stuff. It'll happen when it happens. There's a heap of other stuff I need to get done to the car. For the next job will be the door skins we put in here. Now I'm going to use a composite panel. It just has to be a solid material. Reason I'm going for composite, just a little bit thicker. It's a 3mm composite. And then first thing I need to do is figure out, when I got the car, the wire that runs from the latch down to the handle to open the car up down here had snapped and wasn't working properly, and it was the same on both sides. So to get out of the car, you had to wind the window down and use the outdoor handle. So I've got something I'm going to try and use from down here and run along here and use a bit of a pull tab system and institute something like that. And then obviously you've got the window winders here. But that is the next goal. So I've pretty much got everything I need for that. But next job will be to sand all this back, paint that back, and get that taken care of. So what I might do is I might just leave that video there, because you probably don't want to see a bunch of sanding back because I've already done it to the back. Next video I'll show you what that actually looks like completed. Reason why I'm just doing all these little odd jobs and things like that is just to streamline it, make it more of a race car look. If I'm going to put in all this effort to build this car and make it look good, I might as well not do things by halves and really just give it a good shot. So yeah, I'll sand those back probably tomorrow. I won't put that in the video, just so you guys don't have to sit through that boringness again. Yeah, it's coming up really well. It looks like an absolute mess and a bit of a pig at the moment, but I have got something in mind for these wheels. They will cost me a bit, but I'm willing to get that extra expense if I want to smack some curbs. I want to have some strong wheels that are not going to buckle, and the ones I'm thinking about will be absolutely perfect for that. Suspension system, I know the one I want. Again, costs a bit. And then obviously the roll cage will be going in. I'll try and mount the, if you can see in there, I've got the dash. I'll try and mount that up at some point. And then once the roll cage goes in, I can then think about mounting the seat, getting a harness, putting that in, things like that. The next thing I do have to do is I've got some gear here for cold air intake, which I'll be working on as well. So heap of stuff to do. I have school holidays coming up, so hopefully I can get a bunch of stuff done then. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching this episode. I'll catch you back hopefully very soon with another video. And I'll, yeah, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers, guys. See ya.